メジャー翻訳速報。
メジャー翻訳速報。海外の反応へようこそ。昨夜メッツに延長10回で敗れたドジャースでしたが、今夜は見事に雪辱を果たしました。1回表にメッツが先制しましたが、ドジャースはその裏すぐさま4点の猛攻で逆転。マックス・マンスイのツーランホームランが炸裂しました。マンスイは守備でエラーを犯し苦しい展開となりましたが、9回裏に劇的な同点ホームランで試合を振り出しに戻します。そして延長10回裏、フレディ・フリーマンのサヨナラ打でドジャースが6対5で勝利となりました。試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Hello everybody, welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr. Nomar Garcia Parr. What a night for the Dodgers after they lose in 10 innings last night to the Mets. They return the favor tonight against New York on a night that was about redemption in some ways. Max Muncy has that critical error, then hits his second home run of the game in the bottom of the ninth to force extras. And Tanner Scott, who we talked about a lot in the postgame show last night, pregame show today, had a dominant 10th inning to set the stage there for Freddie Freeman's walk-off.
Listen, outstanding win for the Dodgers. Obviously, the up and down of this ball game. Max Muncy did not hang his head. He continued to fight, tied that ball game up in the ninth inning. Tanner Scott, outstanding outing. Boy, talk about depth with that slider to go along with that fastball. He was outstanding. And then finally, guys, Freddie Freeman hits a walk-off at Dodger Stadium. I don't recall the last time he did that. Congrats, Freddie.
You know, when I look at this after Clayton Kershaw pitched, you know, we always talk about the pitcher setting, the starting pitcher setting the tone. Ben Kasparius really set the tone for the bullpen. When he came in and he retired all 8 batters that he faced, and then right after him, Vesia came in, Urena came, and then Tanner Scott, kudos to you to come back the way he did and going out there and putting the zero, starting off with the man on second base, and the offense persevering and finding a way at the end. But really, I think Kasparius did a tremendous job really setting that tone for the rest of the staff.
Max, you have been on fire as of late, but to have another multi-home run game today, tell me, does it feel like things are just clicking right now offensively?
Yeah, those felt good tonight. It was nice to keep us in the game. Unfortunately, it's my fault we were almost out of the game, so felt nice to make up for that mistake earlier.
How redeeming is that for you when you can come in clutch offensively to pick up behind a defensive error?
It was huge for me. You know, it was just a tough one, and you know, I felt like Kirsch was kind of getting in a groove, and I ruined it for him. And so to be able to come back and keep us right back in this game, it was, you know, for me, it was huge.
For these results offensively, though, I know we've talked about just the grind of this year. Do you feel like you've turned a corner offensively when you look at the results, especially with this weekend and today?
I hope so. You know, you just got to keep looking at the positives, keep building on it, keep trying to move forward, and just trying to carry it over day to day.
When you look at this win, how important was it for you guys to come back? You look at last night for Tanner Scott to have that moment to redeem himself as well.
Yeah, it was big for us. You know, lost a couple in a row, so to be able to get out of that little funk, you know, it's big for us to get, you know, just try to take tonight, move on to tomorrow, and, you know, keep moving forward with it.
All right, well, Max, congratulations on this win tonight.
Thank you.
Well, as both of you guys know, you play this game long enough, you're going to make errors. It is going to happen, Nomar, and I imagine that is a terrible feeling that Max Muncy experienced in the 5th inning. But to be able to come through the way he did in the bottom of the ninth, that has to be an incredible feeling.
It really is. I mean, you know, he touched on it. You know, when you make a mistake like that, and you feel for it, because you was talking about Clayton Kershaw, felt like he possibly could have gotten a groove there, and then all of a sudden it changed that whole entire inning, and then to be able to come back and pick your team up, because let me tell you, throughout the entire game, you're still feeling it. You're like, really? Here we are, we're down, we can't figure out how to get some runs, and it's really my fault, where you're thinking that, man, that's why they got the extra one, that's why we're down now, and then to get that opportunity to come through big right there, and then for the rest of the staff to do their job.
So that tied the game. We were able to go to extras. Tanner Scott, a dominant top of the 10th inning, Jerry, and then in the bottom of the 10th, it set the stage for Fab Five Freddie.
Freddie Freeman, obviously, is a pro's pro, has incredible at-bats, especially late in the ball game. He gets a breaking ball out of third, and I love the way he barrels it up the other way. Had Nemo, who's a really good outfielder, turned around up against the wall. In comes Tommy Edman for their winning run. But it's all about the approach, understanding what the pitcher is trying to do. If he tries to crowd him, he will pull the ball. But it's a breaking ball out of third. He goes with the pitch and is rewarded. There's that breaking ball out of third. Great inside-out swing, staying inside the baseball, barreling it up the other way. Freddie Freeman walking it off. at Dodger Stadium.
I'll tell you, talk about redemption. I guarantee Freddie Freeman was thinking about in the 8th inning when he has a couple of guys on and he ends up striking that, because that's not Freddie-like. And I guarantee that plays in his mind like, listen, I got to come through. Here's my opportunity, and he comes through.
Yes, a few guys with that redemption mode for the Dodgers tonight. They pull it out in the bottom half of the 10th inning, their 5th walk-off win of the season. Let's send it upstairs, check in one final time with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser.
Well, after they lose a nail-biter in 10 innings last night, they win one in 10 innings tonight.
It doesn't pay to out-hit the other team. Dodgers out-hit them last night, and they lost. They get out-hit tonight, but they win. But you know what? It was a Max Muncy night. You know, it looked like it was going to be tough on him. He's struggled defensively, but all of a sudden, the long ball, and he caught up to 2 high fastballs. It was amazing, good swings.
Tony Gonsolin goes tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got to stay away from the long ball. That's what he's got to stay away from, and he fought through it. So, you know, he's got to keep the ball down. He's got to get better with his changeup, and he's got it. It's in there. It's just got to get it in the strike zone and then make him chase once he gets ahead.
Griffin Canning will counter for the Mets. The former Angels had a really good first year in New York, and what a series this has been between these two teams. Rematch of the championship series, and it's lived up to the billing so far in 2025.
It certainly has been an exciting National League Championship Series rematch. These fans behind us are certainly excited because it had a great ending for the Dodgers. Carl's Jr. moment of the game, Jerry, 5-5, bottom of the 10th, and it's Freddie Freeman walking it off.
I love the approach by Fab Five Freddie, barreling up. Nemo had some problems out there in left field trying to find that ball, but we will take it. Walk-off double. Freddie Freeman, but great at-bats, and that's the key. You want to have great at-bats late in the game.
All right, Dodgers get the win 6-5, their 5th walk-off win of the year, 20th come from behind victory. Right now, let's send it inside and hear from Freddie Freeman with Kirsten and the media.
Just to pick up this win tonight, especially kind of looking how last night's loss went and the redeeming factor for a lot of guys on this team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously every win was a big win, but after the last couple of games, it's nice to get back on the winning ways. And credit to Ben, that was a huge outing coming in for Kirsch, and then obviously Max. We wouldn't be in this situation without him.
What were you seeing there from Buto late in the game?
I was just trying to get something up and hopefully hit a ball in the air. Just the main thing was just not ground to a double play just in case, so we can give Teo a chance if I flew out or something like that. So just trying to get something up and get it in the air.
You just kind of start reading Nemo, kind of struggling to find it as you're rounding the bases.
I thought I hit him out, to be honest. But I was just kind of running and hoping it went out because I knew I hit it high and over there, but I think once I think we all know what's the dudes on the mats of the dugouts. You know, it's going to be hard to hit one out, but just glad it was able to fall.
What does this kind of do for your guys' lineup when you have Max kind of finding the power that he kind of has?
Yeah, I mean, I think Max has been doing this for about a month now, right? He's been looking like Max again, so to have him and Andy down there too, I mean, our lineup is pretty deep already, and when you have the guys down there and Haesung down at the bottom, he can create havoc down there too. So I think it's just a lot of good things that can happen in a game. We started putting it together last few.
Very encouraging. I think that you look at what our pen did tonight, covering those valuable innings, really with no margin. And obviously you mentioned Max and how he's been going through it, you know, the first 6 weeks of the season offensively, and then really has hit his stride the last, 30 plus days, and he's playing as well as anybody in the batter's box. And so it's really good to see huge hits, certainly tonight and before, but we needed every bit of it, and it's good to see the resilience from a lot of our guys.
First shot today, what did you see just kind of from him, whether it was missing, you felt like the curveball wasn't there, just what were you seeing?
Well, I think certainly you just don't see the misses with the curveball like you saw tonight. I think there was one good one to a left-handed hitter in the middle of a count, but outside of that, there's a lot of non-competitive curveballs, which is very uncharacteristic of Clayton. I just think that the descriptor, the teethiness of the slider just isn't there right now, and it's still been 3+ starts, so to get the feel of it, it's gonna come, but right now it's just when you're getting count leverage, I know he's frustrated because he's getting count leverage with guys and can't put them away by way of strikeout. So he's competing his tail off, and but it just hasn't been as easy as it has been for him, prior to this little stretch. So he's going to keep working and keep competing, and we're going to obviously keep running him out there.
What does it show you about Max that he can bounce back from that error in the fifth, that swing in the ninth?
It's he's had to go through some adversities, and it certainly hasn't been linear for him as far as whether it be the defense or the droughts offensively and kind of hearing noise from the outside. But he's built a nice hard shell in the sense of just really trying to put his head down and keep the blinders on and try to focus on whatever situation is at hand at the moment. And for him to respond that way and to block out the error that he made in that fifth inning was big. And to play in this market on this ball club, you have to be able to kind of weather some of those storms and keep going.
You guys were expecting the bat to come around, but have you been surprised just how quickly he's gotten back to this point over the last couple of years?
I mean, I think how they've come in bunches, maybe a little surprised, but I was certain that the swing that he was kind of working on, and I was seeing from the open angle from the third base dugout, I really liked what I had seen, and I said that there was going to be some slug coming, and I didn't know how many homers he was going to be hitting, but I just like his at-bat quality, and so now you look at the stat line, it's all lining up the way that it should, and he's really playing some good baseball.
Carlos, what happened there with Nimmo on that fly ball?
Yeah, not an easy play, especially in that situation where the winning run is at second base. He's playing shallower than normal, and that's a tough play, especially in left field from a lefty. He's over your head, and like I said, playing in right there is not an easy play.
Did he lose it when he turned to run to a spot? Did he have trouble picking it back up?
I don't know if he lost it or not, but that ball slicing, like I said, from a lefty, and not an easy play, because of where he's at positioning-wise. He's not as routine as he looked.
Was Stanek unavailable?
Yeah, he wasn't available today.
Why was that?
Yeah, he's just the way we've been using him, and he wasn't available today.
Given how short you were back there, what are you thinking as that game continues to progress?
Yeah, I mean, you're short, obviously, but with McGill able to go 6 innings after that first inning was huge. Then Waddell comes in, and he's pretty much your lone man. He gets 3 outs, and then, in the 8th inning up 1, you don't have many bullets, and that's why I shot Garrett there, the best that I have available against the best hitters there, and then you hopefully get the last 3 outs with Brazovan, and we just made a mistake there to Muncy, but yeah, once you're in position to win that game with very little that you had, you just try to go for it.
How tough is that for Brazovan one night after making 36 pitches?
Yeah, he threw 31 yesterday, obviously, and like I said, we went in the game and probably trying to stay away from him, but when you get in that position, and he felt good coming into today, play catch, and we felt good with him using him, obviously. And again, got ahead 1-2 and left too good of a pitch to a good hitter, and he made him pay for it.
Stanek is physically okay though.
Yeah, it's fine.
What was McGill able to do after that first inning?
Yeah, I think the slider, the curveball, like the secondary pitches, I think the way he mixed, he kind of speed them up, slow them down with the fastball, the secondaries, and man, after that first inning where obviously left another good pitch, got behind Muncy, and he was able to hit him for a 2-run homer. For him to go 6th inning, I thought he did a really good job there.
What did Reed do so well in that spot, second and third, nobody out?
Yeah, kept making pitches. Obviously got the ground ball, with the infield in there. That's what you're looking for, and and then got Will Smith there, but got ahead, make them chase, got the ground ball. So for him to come through in that situation was huge too.
Juan has 3 home runs, I think, in 4 games. Is he one? I mean, you guys have continued to say that he's going to turn it around. Are you seeing the signs that you want to see?
Yeah, 100%. You know, too good of a hitter, and he's continues to put together some good at bats today. Obviously, left on left, got us back in the game. So yeah, he's fine.
How do you describe these games? I mean, there's so much going back and forth, and coming down there.
Yeah, intense. You know, intense games. Two good teams going at it, fighting every pitch, every at bat, every play. We saw it last night. We saw it today. We saw it back home for 3 games. It was a back and forth, you know, and some really good games. You know, now we got 2 more here. We got to get back at it.
I know you're involved in everything, but is there any appreciation of it? It does seem like they're 2 great teams, really.
Yeah, I mean, 2 really good teams playing really good baseball. You know, like I said, back and forth. We got down, we punched back, then we get to the 9th inning, then they punch back. You know, Muncy obviously, but yeah, a lot of good players on the field, and it's the big leagues, right? So, yeah, you appreciate that, obviously, when you got so many superstars performing at their best. So, yeah, we got 2 more.
I mean, they got 4 Hall of Famers in that lineup, in that starting lineup today.
We got quite a few here, too.
Yeah, but 4. That's a lot.
Yeah, we know they're good. We know they're good, so, but we're not going to back down.
In the break, that this was the chance Mets had to beat Clayton Kershaw in the regular season. He was 11-0 in 18 career starts against them in the regular season. He was on the hook for the loss until Muncy bailed him out, and again, they get the win, and it does not figure in the decision tonight, so he's still undefeated. But again, they'd rather beat him in the postseason, which is certainly the case, and they have done that. So there's Brandon Nimmo, and he said exactly, Todd, what you said, that there was a sort of a funky spin on that ball, that he did not read that it was going to move as much as it did. He said he looked one way and it moved considerably the other direction, maybe 15 feet, as Freddie Freeman gets what proves to be the game-winning hit in the game.
Yeah, and what he talked about is his experience out there, and he's seen a lot of balls hit from left-handed batters, but they're not hit from Freddie Freeman, and I keep going back to this, how vertical his swing is, like a golf swing, and it's like a golf slice, where it has more movement because of how vertical that swing is, and the fact that the ball coming into home plate was spinning as well because it was a slider. So he continues to hit it on that side of the ball and just continues the revolutions to where it gets up, and that's why it had the late movement that it did. I don't know if there was wind as a factor as well, but it was interesting to hear Brandon so analytically describe the fact that he was looking over one shoulder, peeked up to just take a look at the fence, and by the time he looked back, he had never seen how much it had moved in that short amount of time. It makes some sense. I'm sure he wishes he would have been able to make that play, but it was an anomaly from him, from what he's seen, and Freddie has that ability to do it. Freddie is one of the more incredible hitters that we've ever seen because of the fact that his barrel comes through the strike zone at such a plane that's so unusual for any other hitter, and he's still able to square up the ball as much as he does. It's really phenomenal.
Well, Brandon said he thought he had a beat on it out there in left field. He was surprised at the way it reacted, and when it was all said and done, was the game winner for the Dodgers as they've evened up this 4-game series now at a game apiece. Todd
Nyland will take the mound Wednesday night against the Mets. Catman gave up a season-high 5 runs against the Yankees last Friday, but settled down in that one and actually went 6 innings, got the win. Nomar, what are you hoping to see out of Gonsolin tomorrow?
You know, the key for him is also having that fastball command early on, because we know he has some breaking stuff, some swing and miss breaking stuff, but he has to establish that, and then if he establishes that fastball down in the zone is also critical. But what we love about Tony Gonsolin, regardless, he's going to fight and compete out there.
Without question. You know, listen, Tony Gonsolin obviously has the stuff to be a great starter in this league. He was an all-star a few years back. Hopefully he uses all his pitches, get ahead early. How about we take a lead for a change? That'd be nice. Hey, comeback victories are fun. How about we take a lead and hopefully our pitching staff holds them?
Well, they had a lead in tonight's game, you know. I mean,
at the end.
No, at the beginning.
It was 4-1 after the first inning. I'm just saying, what was that stat you said? Out of the some-odd games, like 98%.
They're on pace to be trailing in 117 of their 162 games this year.
That's the stat right there. Let's take leads.
They've been behind in a lot of the games. But they also have the most come-from-behind wins in all of baseball this year. Tonight was their 20th of the season, also their 5th walk-off win. What do you say we do it again tomorrow?
Yes.
I like it. All right. For Jerry, Nomar, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. Pregame tomorrow, 6 o'clock right here on Sportsnet LA.
マックス・マンスリーの2本のホームランには本当にしびれましたね。5回の守備のミスで一時は厳しい状況でしたが、9回の同点ホームランで見事に帳消しにしました。そしてフレディ・フリーマンのサヨナラ打、左翼のニモが補給に苦戦する中、見事に勝ち越し点をもぎ取りました。今季5度目のサヨナラ勝ちで、この4連戦を1勝1敗のタイに戻せて本当に良かったです。明日はトニー・ゴンソリンが先発でメッツとの第3戦を迎えます。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。